Welcome Vintage Hollywood Archive. Less so for persons for whom the cinema was an essential part of youthful learning in the 1950s and 1960s, and who remember Ernest Borgnine as one of the popular Hollywood heavies and classics. He was a pudgy tough guy with wrestler looks, as unlikely a big screen celebrity or a romantic lead as could be imaginary. Yet Ernest Borgnine won women's affection and an Academy Award in one of the prodigious Lonely Hearts roles in Marty, a highlight in a workhorse career that crossed nearly 7 decades and more than 200 Hollywood film and television parts. Why Ernest Borgnine still disturbs our dreams. Make sure to watch the video until the end, and if you are new here, don't forget to join our wonderful community by subscribing to the Vintage Hollywood Archive. Ernest Borgnine, the most popular heavy of Hollywood's golden age. With his sturdy build, bulging eyes, and gap-toothed contentious features, Ernest Borgnine was one of Hollywood's prominent character actors. An American actor with a decades-long career was Ernest Borgnine. Apart from this, he also joined talk shows as a guest and even as a panelist on various game shows. Ernest Borgnine had a remarkably rare career trajectory. He accomplished an excellent Oscar-winning film career, then had a super-hit TV show, then he resumed a great movie career, pretty comparably the same as he left off a few years earlier. In other words, he was not completely accepted by his TV character as so many other celebrities were. Most big film stars, once they dived to television, were forever connected with their last role ever after, and you didn't see them in films much more at all after that. Freddie McMurray, Barbara Stanwyck, Robert Young being some leading examples. Not everyone knew Ernest Borgnine could act at all, including himself, until he came back from World War II after his 10-year Navy skimp. He enlisted in 1935 and was discharged in 1941, then re-enlisted when World War II began, serving as a destructive force. As he anticipated what to do after the war, Borgnine's mother recommended acting. The first requisite of a successful actor is to have a recognizable face. Ernest Borgnine, who had acted to the peak, undoubtedly fit the bill. The wrinkly cheeks, the gap in the teeth, the stout physique to match. It was also memorably ugly that Borgnine was nicknamed Mr. Ugly, but he didn't let that push him back. "You don't have to be dark, handsome, and tall to be a film star," he used to say. But I was the first one to demonstrate it. He also showed that you did not have to have standard looks to get the girl. His menacing and jowly looks did him honored in film after film. In the war film From Here to Eternity, he played the brutal Sergeant Fatso Judson, who beat Sinatra to death. In The Greatest, he play-acted as Muhammad Ali's manager. Villains, tough men, bullies, the characters kept coming. And yet directors put him to work, and kept himself operational, from his late-blooming start as an actor after a 10-year Navy profession through the modern times, when he had a recurrent voice role on SpongeBob SquarePants, became the oldest celebrity ever nominated for a Golden Globe, and won the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Screen Actors Guild. With his muscular build and a huge globe of a head that looked hard enough to smash granite, Borgnine certainly was cast as heavies early on, especially as Sergeant Fatso Judson. Despite his generous nature, Borgnine was categorized as a thug from the start, playing badman roles in a series of westerns including Joan Crawford and Sterling Hayden's Johnny Guitar, Randolph Scott's The Stranger Wore a Gun, and Gary Cooper's Vera Cruz, and Susan Hayward and Victor Mature's historical saga, Demetrius and the Gladiators. His vast fan following in the heavy roles made him more valuable in front of directors and producers. One after another, he got great opportunities in the film industry. He also proved that good looks never matters. He had many wives and spent a full life of entertainment and mysteries. Hermes Efron Borgnino was born in Hamden, Connecticut on 24th January 1917. He was the son of Italian immigrants. His parents relocated to New Haven in 1923 and transformed the family name to Borgnine. He had no early determination to be an actor and, after leaving high school in 1935, he was recruited into the United States Navy. Discharged in 1941, he enlisted again after Pearl Harbor and worked until the end of the war. On his return as a civilian, he began working in some industry jobs until his mother recommended that his dynamic personality might find more rewarding expression on the stage. After having jobs at different factories, he went into acting. He studied drama and film in Hartford, was with a representative company in Virginia, got a couple of small parts in acting on Broadway, broke into TV, and this led to movie. In 1949, he landed his first stage role in The State of the Union. From that point ahead, he didn't look back, using his presence to his advantage. Ernest made his first appearance in the film industry with The Whistle at Eden Falls in 1951. He got his first big opportunity in Columbia's From Here to Eternity. In addition to Eternity, his role in Marty 1955, and other popular westerns like Veracruz, Bad Days at Black Rock 1955, and Jubal 1956 won him an Oscar. In real life, Borgnine got many girls and married 5 times, twice with big stars. The sexually thrilling Mexican hothead, Katie Jurado, who appears to have been in all the best Hollywood westerns, and the flourishing and vibrant Broadway songstress, Ethel Merman. As Borgnine was married 5 times, one of those relationships was a brief 1964 marriage to celebrity Ethel Merman, which persisted for less than 6 weeks. Borgnine was first wed to Rhoda Kemmons from 1949 to 1958. From that marriage, he had a daughter, Nancy. Borgnine then married actress Katie Jurado in 1959. They separated in 1963. His wife number 3 was Merman. The relationship barely lasted a month. She appealed for divorce 32 days later. According to Reuters, Borgnine said the relationship broke up because the audience paid more attention to him than Merman during their honeymoon. In Merman's biography, The Village Voice notes, she had a section called My Marriage to Ernest Borgnine that comprises a blank page. He then wed Donna Rancourt in 1965. They had 2 daughters and 1 son, Sharon, Diana, and Christopher, before they divorced in 1972. Borgnine's final marriage, the 5th one in 1973, to Tova Tresnes, was the one that persisted. She manufactured and sold beauty products under her name Tova and used her husband's revitalized face in her ads. He earned numerous military awards comprising World War II Victory Medal. He performed in repertory at the Barter Theater in Virginia, toured as a hospital assistant in Harvey, and played a villain role on TV's Captain Video. After earning $2,300 in 1951, Borgnine almost established a position with an electrical company, but he could not sustain the job and he rejoined acting, moving into Los Angeles' San Fernando Valley in a modest house. Borgnine was also playing an offensive character opposite Tracy Spencer in Bad Day at Black Rock when he interviewed for Marty. In a 2004 interview, Borgnine reminded that Delbert Mann, Chayefsky, and Marty director thought of him as an actor whose only screen specialty was to kill people. The filmmakers had expected to cast Rod Steiger, who played the prime role in the television version of Marty, but he had just landed a part Borgnine himself desired, the bad man Judd Fry in Oklahoma. Mann and Chayefsky hovered to the Black Rock position to audition Borgnine, who appeared wearing a cowboy suit, cowboy hat, 3-day growth of beard, cowboy boots, the actor recalled. He even started the audition in a Western inflection before shifting to Marty's Bronx accent. Borgnine said he knew instantly he had won over Mann and Chayefsky, and Marty enchanted audiences who said for the first time that he could act like a teddy bear as well as a beast. For many people, I included, he still disturbs our dreams as Sergeant Fatso Judson, the brutal, smiling, knife-wielding fence guard in From Here to Eternity. 4 years after the movie came out in 1953, Borgnine was running into angry men who couldn't forgive him for killing Frank Sinatra, who, as Private Maggio, risked complaining about Fatso's piano performance in the local bar. At the same time, like every big star, he has prepared his fair share of unmemorable movies in the course of an amazingly extensive career. Even the most encyclopedically capable film buff would be tough-pressed to remember him in The Catered Affair with Bette Davis, in Jubal with Glenn Ford, or in Go Naked in the World with Gina Lollobrigida and Tony Franciosa. Yet Borgnine has had many stories to tell about his failures as he has about his triumphs. Acting as a Roman soldier in Zeffirelli's epic Jesus of Nazareth, he looks up at the blank cross and sees the real face of Jesus at the instant of his death. As a cruel railroad conductor in Emperor of the North, he almost falls to his death off the top of a running train. In Bad Day at Black Rock, he gets tossed through a shut door by Spencer Tracy. He acted on several TV shows as well as movies such as Captain Video, Johnny Guitar, She Wrote Murder, Bad Day at Black Rock, The Flight of the Phoenix, Magnum P.I., ER, etc. Borgnine played a sensitive character opposite Bette Davis in an alternative film based on a Chayefsky TV drama, The Catered Affair, a film that was a favorite one. It was based on a New York taxi driver and his wife who contested the expense of their daughter's wedding. Among Borgnine's other movies were Three Bad Men, Torpedo Run, Barabbas, The Vikings, The Adventurers, Ice Station Zebra, Willard, and The Greatest as Muhammad Ali's manager. More recently, Borgnine had a habitual character as the apartment doorman cum chef in the NBC sitcom The Single Guy. He had a small role in the failed 1997 film version of Macleod's Navy, and he was the sound of Mermaid Man on SpongeBob SquarePants and Carface in All Dogs Go to Heaven too. 6 decades, almost 200 films, and more than 300 television series later, Borgnine can be safely added up among the best actors of all time. He won 1 Golden Globe Award, 1 BAFTA, and 1 Academy. Interestingly, Borgnine resisted his age at every stage of his career. In 2007, he won the oldest Golden Globe nominee ever for his actions in the movie A Grandpa for Christmas. It came 52 years later, his first Globe nomination for Marty, which he won. He could not win that second time, but Borgnine was as courteous as he could be about it. "The Oscar made me a star, and I'm grateful," Borgnine said in 1966. "But I feel had I not won the Oscar, I wouldn't have gotten into the messes I did in my personal life." Some of Borgnine's co-stars were drunks, among them William Holden, Natalie Wood, Alan Ladd, and Montgomery Clift. Some of them died of drinking. But Borgnine ascribes no blame, merely compassion. His life had some very strange messes. Those messes comprised 4 failed marriages. Borgnine, who died at 95 on Sunday, worked till his death. One of his final acts was a little part as a CIA records keeper in 2010's action entertainment Red, appropriately for his age, a story of retired scouts who show it's never too late to stay in the game when they're dragged back into action. Ernest Borgnine was among the actors who found success in the film industry with luck. His ugly looks never became a hurdle for his career. He proved that hard work is the main key to success. He was a brilliant actor, but what kept him at work? I think that he was an irreplaceable actor of that time. He was like Shrek before Shrek, the chorus of countenance, strong as an ox, huggable ogre, lovable, gruff of voice, hairy, gap-toothed. He had a big heart, with great anger and quick melts. His character and art played to them well, were the reason for his popularity. He was known for his acting, not for good looks. One after the other, he got subsequent roles in a lot of movies and TV shows. On January 24, 2007, he celebrated his 90th birthday with a gathering of friends and family at a West Hollywood bar. Still boisterous, Borgnine made rare refreshment to age. At 88, when he gave up working in the industry, he would take around the country, ending talk with local folks along the way. During an interview at that time, Borgnine expressed his view that he wanted to continue acting, but characters were tough to find at his age. "I just want to do more work," he said. "Every time I step in front of a camera, I feel young again. I really do. It keeps your mind active and it keeps you going." He died at the age of 95 and was actively in the film industry till his last breaths. He was remembered today because of his non-stop acting career. No one can beat his splendid acting career and achievements. He was the most recognized heavy of the Hollywood. Ernest Borgnine may still be haunting us in our dreams, but Tony Curtis was also haunted by a restless soul. Watch this video and find out, how was Tony Curtis haunted by Marilyn Monroe decades later?